Welcome back to the captain's table.
Which is from Dow the Gamer, who asks, with master modes coming in and new balance approaching, how would you balance fighters versus large capital ships? I'll start with you on this one, Celine.
That is where roles really come in. I'm hearing feedback.
It's Axis. It's good now.
All right. An example I like to look to a lot is Star Wars. The Star Wars lore.
Mm-hmm.
You're not going to see an A-Wing take on a Star Destroyer. But you might see a Y-Wing make a bombing run. And that's what they're supposed to do.
Mm-hmm.
X-Wing has a balanced sort of multi-role. And so it's like an arrow is not going to attack an Idris or a Hammerhead. A Hornet might make a couple runs. An Eclipse or an Ares will definitely. So I kind of feel like, what are they supposed to be doing in combat? What are their primary targets?
Mm-hmm. Axis, same question with you. With master modes coming in and balancing approaching, how would you balance fighters versus large/cap ships?
Well, fighters are basically designed to take on things more or less around their similar size, right? Pretty much. Well, that's the light fighter meta. They're meant to go head to head with
other light fighters or other fighters.
Yeah. Or swarm medium and heavy fighters. They're meant to act as a screen for larger ships.
Yes, fighter screens.
Yeah.
Exactly. And where am I going with this? Larger ships, as many people have noticed, say on a Hammerhead, I think that's about the largest ship you have that will hit fighters, but it's still not really great. Even with those repeaters going, it's only meant for heavy fighters. Small fighters can get in the dead spots, the weak spots,
the blind spots. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is a shame because that's supposed to be what Project Monitor was, an anti-fighter platform.
Exactly.
Have you tried it in 3.23 though? Because the question is more about like how would you balance the fighters versus large caps with master modes?
Fighters seem to have an unusual amount of ammunition. Well, I think this may hurt.
And yeah, if you enjoy this, hit that like button, comment down below your thoughts. Join us live at twitch.tv/TheAstroPub and youtube.com/TheAstroPubLive on Saturdays at 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific. Yeah. To join us live to watch the Captain's Table live. I'd love to have you come here. And as it's becoming that time of year, so if you are a content creator or a fan or org leader or you make machinima or videos or whatever, and you want to come on and talk a little bit about Star Citizen, maybe even a specific topic of Star Citizen, reach out to me on Discord. You can also, I'm on Twitter. I have my my DMs open, so you can always come in and hang out and ask me there. I also have my email in that there as well, so you can email there as well. I think I have in the comment in the description as well. So always looking for that as well. So make sure you feel free to do that if you're interested.
Hurt some of the fighters in there. I think there needs to be an armor rebalance.
Okay.
And I know a lot of people are going to be mad at me for saying this. I think a lot of the light fighters need to have a lot weaker HP pools.
Smaller HP pools.
Yeah, because the Gladius, there's no way it should be able to tank a size 4 or 5 missile head on,
Or
well,
size.
It can.
Go ahead.
I think the biggest it can take is like a size 3.
Yeah,
and I think that will shear wings off.
I've been hit with size 2, size 3 missiles in a Hornet, and just one tap, done, completely knocked out. From
right,
the Mark II might take a little more because it's much denser.
It's more modern. I think it's got better armor, but then again, it's descended from a very new military platform.
Yeah. When it comes to the question for me, which is, again, with master modes coming in and new balancing approaching, how would you balance fighters versus large cap ships?
Now, to be honest, I haven't tried a hammerhead because PTU, I haven't been able to get a group into one yet.
Mm-hmm. All right.
So I don't have. I've been on smaller ship side. I haven't thought anything too big though.
I think CIG's in the right direction because CIG's doing this rock paper scissors thing, where they're doing, each type of ship has its advantages and disadvantages. Like light fighters will and can absolutely destroy medium and heavy fighters because they're a lot more nimble. They can stay away from it. They can run away from it. They're faster. All those sorts of things. They're still weak against those counterfires though. So during combat, they can take a lot of damage. They can't take a lot of damage, so they'll get knocked out. Whereas medium fighters can still take a little bit more damage, do a little bit more nimble. So they're all kind of balanced against each other. Like medium fighters can take on light fighters and can tank the light fighters' attacks, but light fighters can be a little bit nimble. Heavy fighters can tank a lot more. But they're not as nimble. But if they get into the range of something, they can do it. But their main job isn't really to fight fighters. Their job is to fight gunships, things like the Connie and the Perseus, the Redeemer, and the Corsair. That sort of range of like larger ships.
Perseus too.
Yeah, kind of goes with the Star Wars example. Yeah. That seems to be the direction they want to go.
Yeah. And I think that's right. I think it's the right kind of direction where like each class of ship is going to design to be fighting a little bit above and maybe a little bit below. And if it specializes in above or below, like the Hammerhead specializes in punching down, whereas the Perseus specializes in punching up and across. Well, it also punches down. But those two ships punch down, whereas like Corvettes punch up and down a little bit.
The Polaris, I think, has an array of size 5 weapons and the big torps.
Yes.
But it carries a fighter bay to have a little bit of screening.
Yeah, because it can't really screen for itself.
So it would be vulnerable to smaller targets where traveling with escort Hammerhead would cover that.
Exactly. Because like an Eclipse or Retaliator is the natural enemy of the Polaris because it can it's a glass glass cannon. It can punch hits. It can deal out punches, but it can't take them back. So it's got reliant on its speed and maneuverability, and it's a Corvette. I don't expect it to be able to handle like a light fighter. So that's where the balance really comes in. Go ahead.
Someone was saying Polaris doesn't have size 5. I'm talking about the turret mounts. I'm not clear on the turret mounts off the top of my head.
Yeah, the Perseus doesn't have a size 5. Perseus has 4 size 7s. So
yeah,
I'll look at
the Polaris is what the Redeemer wants to be.
Yes.
Or Perseus is what the Redeemer wants to be.
Yes. I'm looking at the Polaris right now. Its weapon system is size 5. Size 5 remote turret, size 4s, size 4s and size 5s. It has 1 size 5, 5 size 4s, and 6 size 4s. So so it does have a size 5, but it also has a lot of like smaller guns. It's not punching up when it comes to it's not using its guns to fight capital ships, but it is designed to shoot like hammerheads and stuff like that. So all right. But I think in general, CIG is in the right direction. And the big thing that people need to remember is that this is only part 1 of like a 4 or 5 part balance. They're already working on resource system. The new resource system is going to be added, and that's going to add some more balance. They're working on things like, what is it called? Maelstrom, which is going to be the armor and damage system. So that's going to change things. So like when you shoot a fighter, all of its components are going to be clustered together. So if you shoot in the area of where it is and hit it, you're probably going to hit something. Whereas if you shoot something like a Connie, it's more spread out. Its places are, so that you have to target specific parts of the ship if you want to do certain amounts of damage, which requires precision and timing, and you have to get in close, and so those are also all balances themselves.
Also, as we see in the engineering mode, there will be hitting the nodes in between to shut down parts of the ship.
But it's going to require skill to hit them, so it's less of a, and that's where some of that balance is going to come in, where you can't just take a light fighter and win anymore, which is, the right direction, I think. So I'd like to thank you for watching. And if you enjoyed the video, think about tapping the like button, subscribing for more content, and hitting the bell icon to be notified when these release. I'd also like to thank those on screen now for supporting the channel financially. If you want to throw in a few credits, think about becoming a member on YouTube. And if you want a bit more for your contribution, join the Ko-fi or Patreon. Patreons and Ko-fi members get early, ad-free access to all videos, including exclusive early access to my long-running Complete History of Star Citizen lore series. Check those out now in the top right if you want to know what you're getting. Now, I want to hear your thoughts on this video and on any other lore topics in the comments below. And as always, remember, ex Historia ad Astra.